We're live from Jackets and Company on campus store on the university campus on the Yellowjacket Sports Network. Jeff Rosenberry now joined alongside Athletic Director Krista Montague. Now, Krista was here supporting the fall preview show. She had a Lunchable that she bought from the campus store.
Absolutely.
And has been looking at paintbrushes, and we thought, hey, let's get our athletic director up here and have a conversation. How are you, Krista?
Well, I appreciate that. I'm very well. I'm very excited for this year. This is my favorite time of year, and
It
I'm
is.
happy to join in and say a few words to our fans.
It's so cool to have these fall sports athletes back early, and competition is starting. They're into the practices. You remember all of this kind of stuff because you were a student athlete before you became athletic director a few years ago,
Yes.
right? What was that?
Yeah.
I mean, what was that experience like for you as a student athlete, and now being on the other side as an administrator?
Well, I must say that my student athlete experience really is the reason why I chose the career I did, because I had such a great experience, and I really want to use this opportunity to give back, hopefully, to students at MSUB and help provide an experience for them as well. It was definitely eye-opening for me to go from student athlete to more on the administrative side to kind of see what
Sure.
what is behind the scenes to pull off all the different events and experiences we provide for the student athletes. So, but yeah, my student athlete experience was amazing. It was right here at MSU Billings. I played basketball in the 90s, and gosh, would do it all over again if I could. Just had an awesome coaches and teammates, and I lived in the residence halls all 4 years. That was
Perfect.
an amazing experience.
We love
wouldn't
that.
change that for the world. So,
Yeah.
yeah, had a good experience here.
That's great. Now, we're coming up, obviously, on season competition for men's and women's soccer, for cross country, and for volleyball. Now, volleyball has the luxury of playing in Alterowitz Gym, so even in the inclement fall weather that we get here. But it can get nasty out there. It can get cold,
Sure.
some of those competitions. Why should people come out in the cold to support Yellowjacket athletics and these fall sports?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think our student athletes really kind of speak for themselves, and if you take the time to come out and watch them and even get to know them a little bit, you'll want to come back.
Yeah.
I think if you just come to one match and watch these amazing student athletes, you'll want to come back. They're good. They're competitive. I mean, the Division II level and the GNAC in particular, it is a highly competitive conference. This is a high level of athletics right here in Billings, and so I think people should definitely take advantage of that and support these athletes who are choosing Billings to live and go to school. So that's really important to get out there and support them.
It's a great choice. We love that they make it, not just because of being a student here, but being part of the Yellowjacket family. And I think you really said it best. If you get to know those student athletes and their stories and have conversations with them, you start to see this is more than athletics. This is more than sports, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had a visitor over the past couple of days, John Gardner, who, for viewers who may not know, is a world-renowned lecturer and oversees a nonprofit institute on student-centered approaches to working with students and collaboration between academic affairs and student affairs and other departments on campus, like athletics. I saw you at a lot of his speaking engagements and some of those focus groups, and I'm just curious, from an administrative perspective, how that impacts your perspective as the athletic director and in turn trickles down to our athletes.
Well, first of all, I think it's so important to be a lifelong learner. It doesn't matter where you're at in your career or in your life, you can always learn from opportunities that are presented to you. And John Gardner coming to campus was an amazing opportunity for anybody on this campus to attend and hear what he has to say. Very brilliant, great thoughts, great ideas. And I think what I took away from it mostly is just maybe rethinking what I'm doing day to day in my job and in my free time to help all students at MSU Billings succeed. Obviously, we have a big focus on our student athletes and, for the majority of the time, but I really want to take a step back and see what I can do to help all students succeed at MSU Billings, have a good experience, earn their degree, and, get them ready for their life after college.
I think that is amazing perspective, and you talk about being a lifelong learner. Your two girls just started school this week, right? So they're lifelong learning, and then bringing it home and asking you for help on homework, and you're probably a lifelong relearner
Yes,
sometimes.
I get a little frustrated on
with,
some of that.
with the math and that kind of stuff. I'm not smarter than a
Absolutely.
5th grader. I'm going to be
Yeah,
clear
for
about
sure.
that. So
A little rusty there.
we have a very special opportunity this fall at MSU Billings as we are hosting the the GNAC cross country championship here.
Yep, the NCAA
Talk a little bit about
West
that.
Region
Yeah,
cross country.
or West Region, excuse
no,
me.
that's
Yeah.
okay. No, that is really exciting for us. This will be our second time hosting this event. I think anytime we can attract an NCAA caliber event to our city is a big deal. It brings 32 teams from across the West Region to Billings, from Hawaii, Alaska, California. It's really fun for us to see those student athletes come in and get to see a part of the country that they probably might not see otherwise if it wasn't for this experience.
And now I'm sure that other schools are bidding for this. So how is it that now 2 years in a row we've come back to Billings for this?
No, that's a good question. So any of the member institutions in Division II can bid to host on any of the sporting events. There's certain events that you have to be a #1 seed to host, like West Region basketball, for example. You have to be a #1 seed to host that. But there are events like cross country that anybody can put in a bid, and if you have the right specifications for on your course and enough hotels and all of that, airport is accessible, then yeah, you can. I mean, we always are going to bid on events that we feel we have a good shot at hosting, because it keeps our student athletes at home too. They travel a lot, they're road warriors, and it's good for them to be able to compete at a high level at home once in a while too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Krista.
you for having me.
Krista Montague, Athletic Director for MSU Billings Athletics. We're live on the Yellowjacket Sports Network. Upon our return, Evan O'Kelly will be back in the pilot seat for our second half of our fall sports preview. Stay tuned.